I hate to admit it, but I had a saggy rear problem. If you have a saggy rear problem, I'm gonna tell you how I fixed it on my rig. And let me tell you, it's much better now. So before I got it fixed, I weighed all my gear and I put it in piece by piece. So let's see how that went. So right now with just the rack weighs about 150 pounds. And I'm sitting at about 43¼ inches to the bottom of the fender. Now if I was running it just like this, no problem. It actually drives really well. These TeraFlex 3.5-inch springs are perfect, no issues. The problem is, I built this to be an overland rig. I got the family a lot of the times. So I gotta throw my gear in here still. And I like to tow that tent trailer, which adds another 300 pounds of hitch weight. Let's see where we end up. Originally, when I lifted my 2022 Jeep Gladiator Ecodiesel, TeraFlex did not make their HD Ecodiesel springs. So we went with the regular springs, added some spacers to compensate for the weight. As time went on, the springs sagged, so it's time to upgrade. In comparison to my other Gladiator, this one just felt maxed out. I'd regularly be hitting the bump stops, and there was just no flex. The truck would just get tossed around on obstacles. As you can see, it's a pretty significant amount. I understand with the trailer, I won't be wheeling with the trailer. That was just for reference. That was just something to keep in mind. But the guys at Epic Adventure Outfitters, they have the solution for this. We have heavy duty TeraFlex springs going in the rear. And in the front, we got the Ecodiesel TeraFlex springs going in. Let's head over there. Good morning.
Morning, how's it going, bud?
Never better.
Living the dream out here, bud?
Living the dream.
Nice. I guess we're doing a little work for you today.
Getting a little bit better coils for my setup.
So better back rear HD springs and a proper set of Ecodiesel front springs.
Yeah.
That should ride about nicely.
I hope so.
Yeah, it should be good.
Okay, so I just measured the backside here, and with the, I only have the spare tire in here and the rack, so keep that in mind. But I'm at 45 inches to this line right here. Okay, so we're gonna throw these springs in and we're gonna back it out and see what happens. You know what, I'm gonna measure my front as well. Be right back. Okay, so this is 46 inches to the fender, this line right here. The front won't make much difference, I don't think. We'll see what happens, and I'll keep you posted on the driving of it. Anyways, let's get them installed. Epic Adventure Outfitters now puts these coils in as their standard lift for those with Ecodiesels and plan to load them up with gear. You know what?
What?
It's the first day of spring.
Is it really?
Really?
It's the first day of spring? So the rear suspension has more stuff that needs to come off the clearance so you can get the coils in. Got your brake lines, ABS lines, emergency brake cables that have to come off, and then you can pull the lower shot. You don't have to pull them right out, but you can just pull the lower shot, and then you gotta loosen off your arms and remove the upper bolt so that'll release the suspension enough so you can get this coil out.
Holy.
Yeah, there's a lot more work in the back end than in the front just to do the coil. You think the back would be easier?
Yeah.
Nope.
Sean decided to stop by. He's getting some work done to his rig as well. You'll have to check out his channel, Storytell Now, to see what he's got going on. Once the coils were out, we were able to do a side-by-side comparison.
Because they're stiffer, right? It's all about the girth. When you're getting springs,
Getting springs
the
is
girth is the most important part,
girth.
right? This
The
part
girth.
right here.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of like be able to
What is-
put your hand around it and really feel it, you know?
Does that feel heavy duty?
Felt stiff.
Oh, it looks stiffer.
So comparing the two, they look pretty similar to me. I don't know, I'm not a springs guy or a coil
You don't look
guy.
like a spring?
I'm not, yeah, no.
They don't look similar to you at all.
No. Stacked up next to each other, they're both the same height. The heavy duty ones are like twice the weight. And the other one, you can't even lift it.
It's like one-hander.
Yeah.
This one's like, oh, it's pulling me down.
Right. You need the forklift for those things.
Or just one mic.
Oh. And it'll settle for sure. Guys, I am so sorry. I am almost finished editing this video and I realized I didn't talk about the front springs. So I'm just gonna go over this very, very quickly. They are night and day difference. We talked about the back springs a lot because of the extra weight. Obviously, it's gonna be very dramatic. If you have the Ecodiesel, make sure you get these springs for the front. It is equally dramatic. My other springs were just too soft and I guess worn in, and I was hitting my bump stops often. On the front of my truck specifically, I have the worn Evo 12S and I have the Evo bumper quarter pounder, 70 pounds each. That's another 140 pounds on top of the Ecodiesel motor. The extra rating of these springs make a huge difference. Let's get back to the video. All right, now it's back. I just measured to the same spot. It's 44.25 inch, which doesn't mean much. There could be a pebble underneath or whatever. What we're more interested in is how much it drops after I load the gear in. And that's already with the rack and tire. There you have it. With all the gear, it only dropped 1/4 inch. I'm gonna hook up the trailer to this just to see, just for fun. So the trailer actually dropped at about the same amount. The angle of my truck when I was loading up the trailer kind of threw off my measurements. So just ignore my actual measurements here. All right, I just measured it. 43.25. That means it only dropped a full inch with all the gear and the trailer, which is crazy. I don't remember what I was at the beginning of all this, but I want to say I was at 43 with just the gear. But anyways, we're gonna go back and check. And while I've been driving it like this for about a week now, and I can tell you, on-road and off-road, it is a completely different vehicle. It actually flexes off-road now. Before it would just bounce around. Here's an example of it doing that. You can see once my rear end hits an obstacle, it just gets tossed around. Whereas in now, it just kind of floats through it. I have yet to tow with it. I'll be doing that this weekend. So there'll be a video coming up on that, as well as a family trip. Guys, I'm trying to hit 25,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We are on pace to do it. If you like what you saw, if this was informative enough for you, please do subscribe, hit that like button, comment. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. If you want to help support the channel, please join us on Patreon. Link is in the description, and we have merch also available in the description. Till next time, go away, get lost, and unwind.
Let's go! Life's